What's up, ladies and gents in Cyberland? So I'm coming back to you with another music review, and this is for Deftones' last album that was released, Gore. So up until this point, we've had different types of transitions with Deftones, from Around the Fur to White Pony, with White Pony to Self-Titled and Saturday Night Risk, because technically with everything that happened with the band, I feel like those two are really encompassed with each other. And then we had a full, not breakthrough, but just a transition period where the band kind of decided to not go back and do things they have been done, but improve on their issues and sort out their problems that happened with the fourth and fifth album. So we had Koi no Yoken and Diamond Eyes, which were monumentally great. And then at some point, I think the band wanted to go in another direction and not and of course you always want to improve and stuff, but I felt with Gore they wanted to push the envelope on certain avenues and transitions with the music. So the first song that came out was Prayers and Triangles, and at the time when I heard it, I really didn't know what to think of it. I kind of felt like, if this is an indication of the album, I already know for a fact that it's not going to be aggressive like what Diamond Eyes and Koi no Yoken came off of. And that's not to say it's going to be a bad album. I just know it's if this is an indication, and especially once we hear another song, normally when you hear two songs you can kind of tell that this is probably going to be a laid-back album. And then lo and behold, when the album leaked, of course, that's exactly what it was. There were aggressive songs on it. However, it wasn't aggressive in the sense of like Around the Fur, White Pony, or Koi, or Diamond Eyes, or even Saturday Night Risk. It was songs were more laid back, kind of mellowish, but heavy with guitars and such. And lyrics were on point. There weren't any things about that. It was just the album was a laid back album, and it felt like the band were at a place where they just like, let's just make a kickback album. Let's make an album where we don't have to hit the drums really hard. We don't have to rock on the stage like we normally do. The best way I felt like Gore reminded me of was the song Rosemary. I felt Rosemary from... No. Was it Rosemary? I don't think it was Rosemary. It was a song from Koi no Yoken, and it's one of my favorite songs, and I just forget the name at the moment. It's one of my top 5. I would say... let me just look. Shoot. I'm doing a review. Might as well just find it. It was the... Oh, yeah, it was Rosemary. My bad. Yeah, it was Rosemary. So, with the music of Rosemary, I felt like they took that to the next step, and that's really what became Gore. Because there was a lot of songs that just had that Rosemary vibe to it. It had the aggressiveness. It just wasn't sped up, and it wasn't hard-hitting, but it kind of had that. And then also, like... And some people will say this is the outro for Rosemary. I spliced it and put it with Goon Squad because I felt like that sounded more like it goes with Goon Squad than ending off on Rosemary, but that's me. That little segment is kind of like what Gore ended up becoming. So it's a different album. It's not an album that I dislike. I like it, again, it's better than everything I like more than Adrenaline. However, if I'd rank it, it's not going to be in my top 4. It would probably be at the lower end. Only because, I like the aggressive sides of bands. I do like the softer songs and stuff and the laid back, but I'm more of an aggressive type person for music. I like that hard-hitting stuff. I've just always been like that. So, that's how I rank this album. My rating, I would give it a 4 out of 5. Yes, sirs. There wasn't any songs I didn't like. However, as opposed to the other albums, in comparison with this one, it's very similar to Adrenaline with me, where there's just not really songs that stick with me as much as the other albums. But I listen to them, I enjoy them. It'll be very interesting to see what comes after this, but we'll get to that in a minute. So, for my songs, top 5 songs, of course, I think if this album had some solos in these songs, I think it probably would have been ranked a lot higher for me, because the Phantom Bride song with Jared Cantrell from Alice in Chains, the guitarist, that just to me was the standout for this album, hands down, because not only was the music great, but having that solo, and I really think Steve should probably start incorporating a little bit of solos in albums moving forward, because it really works, you know. So Phantom Bride, Acid Hologram is probably one of my favorite songs too, because I like the transition. However, it has a little bit of a nuance to it of new sound for them, but it keeps that little bit of when they're hitting those chords, it keeps a little bit of Around the Fur and a White Pony in there. The other 2 songs is Hearts, Wires, and LMIRL, which I don't know what the hell. I still don't. I think I remember somebody said what it stood for, but I forgot. However, those are my top 5 songs. So, I am really looking forward to the next album. The album should be out hopefully this year, with all the crap going on with a certain situation right now where people are on lockdown. They said it's going to be more aggressive than Gore, and I'm like, if they can keep elements of Gore but still have the aggressive side, hey, I'm great. I'm good with that. I have yet to be disappointed by the band and anything they've released. I feel there's just some albums I like better than others, and that's with anything. Normally when I become disappointed with a band, it's like you really had to do some serious stuff to totally turn me off. And there are some bands that I may review and point that out. But it's neither here nor there right now for this album review. So, with that being said, we will cue the music.